All right, here is a story I want to talk about of, like I said earlier this month, and this talks about Alysia Moulton White. I think I've done recordings on her. I mentioned some of my. I mentioned her in somewhere now, either a video or not, or talked about online. Yeah, she she was she okay, like she's in the core of the corporate world, and she was recently. I think she left. I forgot which company she was part of, but she was part of Sagicor recently. And unfortunately for her, she's been made trending the headlines in a way that's not a good way, and because apparently she's been brought on some fraud related charges, related charges, and I think they said that her sister Trisha Moulton is also on some charges as well. And she was charged recently with conspiracy to defraud, lawfully making available data or device for commission offense, and basically doing some things that is basically equivalent to insider trading for Armory. Yeah, let's just say that she is doing a Bernie Madoff. All right, from what I've said, she was released on $1 million station bail, no surprise, and is supposed to appear in court next year in February. That is the same date that her sister are co-accused of in another case. So let's just say that if this is true, is that hey, let's just say criminality runs in that family. I mean, I can just only hope our other siblings or other family members aren't some criminal charges as well. But if this sounds similar, I think there's this other lady who was actually else that I do recording on who was on some charges. I think earlier this year or last year. I forgot her name, but yeah, it's just basically similar pattern here though. And all I can say is basically is that first of all, this reads like a movie script. Because I would generally say that if I didn't know about this, I'd swear that this was almost like Wolf on Wall Street. And if you saw that movie and who it is based on, you basically said, hey, there's a similar pattern here. I mean, like if they actually gets trends even more, who's actually going to play Alysia Moulton White in a movie if they decide to make a movie about her, or some of the other people within these companies that are being caught putting their hands in the cookie jar when they're not supposed to. I mean, like, is there like a theme here? And I think Patrick Swart said something that's very telling, because he covered this briefly. He said that, hey, you think that someone like Alysia Moulton White, if she is guilty of this stuff, you think that, okay, why would a woman who's making money that majority of Jamaicans will never see in their lifetime? Because let's just be honest, she's one of those people that I guarantee lives in this upscale gated community, has a nice house, several room, multi-room house, probably swimming pool, probably helper, gardener, or whoever. Let's just say that she's basically living the life of the people in Jacks Hill or Beverly Hills, or any of them uptown people. Like, because she, from what I understand, in her position, she'd be making it a lot of money that she technically, her and her family doesn't work. I don't know if she has any kids. I think she's married, I believe. Like, but it is to say that she's well off. Me, like, she doesn't really have to worry about financial issues. So why would actually she be caught with that stuff? And he said something that is very telling. He said, even if some people are living half the hog, that doesn't mean that hey, that they're going that they don't have criminal tendencies. Because for them, it's not about survival. It's not about, okay, we're doing it because we're impoverished and that we want to make sure that we never have to be out on the streets again. They're doing this for thrills or just greed, because some of the worst type of criminals aren't those who aren't doing it because of need or survival. They're just doing it for thrills, and also because of avarice. Because the fact is that when you have a culture, and it talks about a culture in Jamaica where we just believe that okay, just cutting corners doing the immoral things, and the fact that we're not likely going to be punished or facing serious reprimands, that does encourage us to just do it more because of just for thrills. Because I'm guaranteed if her and her sister are guilty of this, I can guarantee they're in this environment and setting where there are some other like-minded people who are criminals just like them, and they decided, you know what? Let's if I can just skim a little bit of money here, I mean that money won't really be going towards anything important, right? Like my family or paying the bills. It is going to be going towards maintaining that lavish lifestyle I like living. Cause chances are we'll be going to these nice expensive trips out of country. We'll buy these other nice expensive clothes that we really don't need. Cause most of those clothes cost more than some of us that's than the rent for a regular apartment or whatever, or to pay or for car insurance. Not important things. We're just doing it because we just want to keep up with the Joneses. When you have that mindset, which makes you one of the most despicable um and unsavory type of person, you get situations like this. Yeah, you just get the situation where people say, hey, I'm just stealing for this because I just can. Because like nothing is ever too much for me. I just if I can just get more and more of that big the lion's share, I'm just going to do it for the sake of just doing it. And that is pretty much why I think her and her sister, if these allegations are true, that's what come. And that's the same thing with that other lady who I forgot about, and many of these other people, these so-called officials who have been who have been caught or being facing these charges of theft and misconduct. It's just a culture of criminality within certain settings, and it's not even because of survival. It's just because of thrills and avarice. Yeah, that's a very telling thing because it's going to be interesting what comes of it. Do I think that she'll likely face any charges? She may. Chances are she might buy off some judge and that she'll get a full sentence, and she'll probably most will happen is that she'll probably lose her job, which that's going to inconvenience her, but chances are that she'll just go about her business, and just probably just learn, hey, I'll probably just be sure not to get caught the next time. I won't really be learning the lesson that stealing is wrong. I'll just be learning that, hey, I'll just be much slicker the next time, and I'll just probably just fade away into the spotlight and just be more discreet. That's one of the other outcomes. But yeah, this is pretty much what my take on this is, though. And again, if she gets a sentence where they throw the book at her, I'll be surprised. If it's a case where they're just gonna just give her a little slap on the wrist because she likely bought out that certain judge, again, I'll be disgusted but not surprised. But yeah, this is just showing the culture of criminality in Jamaica, and it has nothing to do with class, which area you grew up from. It's a culture mindset that has always been part of Jamaica's fabric for the longest. So this is for State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my other YouTube pages, Miles Glisson Farron, Miles Productions, Real Thoughts and Miles. All right.